An essential nutrient is one the body cannot produce in adequate amounts and therefore must be obtained from food. These include macronutrients such as proteins, carbohydrates and fats, micronutrients including 13 essential vitamins and a range of macro and trace minerals, and water. Water accounts for about 60% of body weight and plays a vital role as the medium for all biochemical reactions, supports body temperature regulation through sweating, and enables the transport of nutrients in the blood and lymph. Maintaining homeostasis requires adequate daily fluid intake, roughly 2 litres for women and 2.5 litres for men. Think of carbohydrates as nature's quick fuel snacks and slow-burn power bars built from carbon, hydrogen and oxygen in a ratio that resembles a hydrate of carbon. Some of these sugar blocks come solo or in pairs, like the monosaccharides in honey and fruit, or the disaccharides sucrose in table sugar, lactose in milk, and maltose in beer, that give you an almost instant energy boost. Then there are the long chains called polysaccharides in potatoes, rice, and bread that act like breakfast served all day, plus glycogen in your muscles that stores up fuel for a sprint. In between lie the oligosaccharides in beans and peas, which your gut bacteria love to munch on and sometimes reward you with a bit of extra gas. Whatever their length, your body breaks every chain down into simple sugars so you can keep running, thinking, or indulging in a snack raid. Macronutrients supply energy, with proteins and carbohydrates providing 4 kilocalories per gram, and fats providing 9 kilocalories per gram. Micronutrients, although not energy-yielding, are essential as cofactors in metabolic pathways and immune function. Total energy needs vary depending on factors like age, sex, body size, and physical activity. To keep your body in balance and avoid nutrient gaps, experts at the FAO and WHO suggest that 45 to 65% of your calories come from carbs, 10 to 35% from protein, and 20 to 35% from fat. Proteins are like the handymen of your body. Around 40% of them are busy working in your muscles, about 25% are holding things together in your organs, and the rest are scattered around your skin and blood. Proteins are built from amino acids, which are like little building blocks your body must have to create everything it needs to function properly. Some proteins become enzymes, which are special helpers that speed up all the chemical reactions happening inside you. Other proteins turn into hormones, acting like tiny messengers that travel through your blood to tell different parts of your body what to do. Proteins also play big roles in structure, making up things like your muscles, skin, hair, nails, bones, and blood vessels. Important structural proteins like collagen and keratin keep you strong, flexible, and looking good. Some proteins like actin and myosin are the engines that power your muscle movements, whether you are sprinting, dancing, or just reaching for snacks. Your immune system also depends on special proteins called antibodies that act like little warriors, hunting down anything that should not be in your body. Plus, there are transport proteins that carry vitamins, minerals, and other goodies to where they are needed. Your body needs amino acids to build all these important proteins, but it cannot make all of them on its own. That is why you need to eat foods like meats, beans or tofu to make sure you have all the essential amino acids to keep things running smoothly. Without enough protein, your body would be like a construction site with no workers, no deliveries, and no defense team. Lipids are nature's greasy VIPs. They won't dissolve in water. Oil and water really don't mix, and they pack twice the energy of carbohydrates, serving as our long-term energy stash. These oily party animals also play a crucial structural role. Their phospholipids form the double-layer membrane that builds and protects our cells and organelles. On top of that, lipids are the VIP taxis for fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, K, and hormones, shuttling these important molecules through the watery bloodstream. Lipids come in different flavors. Simple lipids include everyday fats and fatty acids. Compound lipids include phospholipids that make cell membranes, and special derivatives like cholesterol keep membranes just right and help make steroid hormones. And a fun twist, Alcohol isn't truly a lipid, but your body treats it like one in metabolism, like an uninvited guest who still crashes the lipid party. All in all, lipids may be greasy, but they're essential, giving our cells structure, fueling our bodies, and carrying important molecules around with a wink and a smile. Vitamins are tiny but mighty organic nutrients that you must get from food because your body cannot make enough of them on its own, and they fall into two groups based on how they travel in your body. Water-soluble vitamins, which include the B-complex family and vitamin C, and dissolve in water, so you need fresh supplies every day. And fat-soluble vitamins, which include vitamins A, D, E, and K, and ride along with dietary fats so they can be stored for later use. Water-soluble vitamins help you turn food into energy, keep your nerves firing smoothly, and support healthy skin and blood cells. Think of oranges for vitamin C, whole grains and pork for B vitamins, and leafy greens for folate, while fat-soluble vitamins contribute to sharp vision, strong bones, antioxidant protection, and proper blood clotting, with carrots and sweet potatoes for vitamin A, sunlight and fatty fish for vitamin D, nuts and seeds for vitamin E, and spinach or broccoli for vitamin K. By eating a colourful mix of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, protein sources, and healthy oils, you cover all your vitamin needs and help your metabolism, immunity, and overall health thrive. Minerals fall into two groups: macrominerals, needed in amounts over 100 grams per day, such as calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, sodium, potassium, chloride, and sulfur, and trace minerals required in smaller amounts under 100 milligrams per day, including iron, zinc, iodine, selenium, copper, and manganese. Macrominerals build and maintain bones and teeth, conduct nerve impulses, regulate fluid balance, and enable muscle contractions. Trace minerals serve as vital enzyme cofactors, carry oxygen in hemoglobin, support thyroid hormone production, fuel antioxidant defenses, and bolster immune function. Recommended daily values are roughly 1,300 milligrams for calcium, 1,250 milligrams for phosphorus, 420 milligrams for magnesium, 2,300 milligrams for sodium, 4,700 milligrams for potassium, 18 milligrams for iron, 11 milligrams for zinc, 150 micrograms for iodine, and 55 micrograms for selenium. Calcium and phosphorus come mainly from dairy products like milk and yogurt, while magnesium is plentiful in nuts, seeds, and leafy greens. Iron and zinc are abundant in meats, legumes, and whole grains. Iodine enters our diets through seafood and iodized salt, and selenium shines in foods like Brazil nuts, seafood, and organ meats. Sodium and chloride, often consumed together as table salt, keep our fluid balance and nerve signals running smoothly. And potassium from dairy and grains helps power heartbeats and muscle function. Ensuring a varied diet of dairy, vegetables, meats, nuts, and seafood covers these essential minerals to keep every system in your body humming. Making a juicy burger is surprisingly thirsty for the planet. One burger can gulp about 2,000 litres of water, which is enough to fill several bathtubs. In comparison, lentils for the same meal need only a fraction of that. Raising livestock also consumes huge swaths of land. Roughly half of Earth's habitable land is now used for farms or pasture, mostly to raise animals or grow their feed. Each steak comes with the environmental footprint of a small neighbourhood. Cows also release methane, a powerful heat-trapping gas, so beef and dairy products have a much bigger climate impact than vegetables. Altogether, our meat and dairy-heavy habits leave the planet a bit parched, crowded, and overheated. This sets the stage for greener food alternatives like lab-grown burgers or algae-based snacks. Edible insects have drawn growing global interest as a sustainable food source, with over 2,000 species consumed worldwide, particularly in tropical countries. These include beetles, caterpillars, ants, bees, grasshoppers, locusts, and crickets, with preferences varying by region. For example, mopane worms are popular in southern Africa, while silkworm pupae are favoured in East Asia. Emerging edible insect species like black soldier fly larvae, mealworms, and house crickets are increasingly explored for food and feed due to their high nutrient content and ease of mass production. Edible insects are recognized for their rich nutritional profiles, often surpassing traditional meat sources in protein, vitamins, and minerals. Most insects contain 35 to 60% protein by dry weight and are rich in essential amino acids, unsaturated fatty acids such as omega-3 and omega-6, iron, zinc, and B vitamins. Their nutrient density makes them valuable in combating malnutrition, especially in regions with limited access to animal protein. Studies have shown insect proteins to be highly digestible and bioavailable. Crickets, mealworms, and locusts show digestibility rates between 76 and 98%. Processing methods such as drying, roasting, and powdering can further enhance their digestibility and nutrient absorption. Insect farming offers remarkable environmental advantages over traditional livestock. Insects require far less land, water, and feed. Crickets need 12 times less feed than cattle to produce the same amount of protein. They emit significantly fewer greenhouse gases and can be raised on organic waste. For example, black soldier flies can convert food waste into high-protein biomass, creating a circular food system with minimal environmental footprint. Food safety is a major concern as insect consumption increases globally. Although insects are generally safe, risks include microbial contamination, allergens, and accumulation of toxins from their feed. Regulatory frameworks vary across regions, but some governments have started approving certain species for human consumption. Ensuring hygiene, traceability, and quality control remains critical for consumer protection. Cultural acceptance of edible insects varies widely. While commonly consumed in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, insects are often met with disgust or taboo in Western societies. Acceptance is influenced by cultural norms, familiarity, and perception. Marketing efforts and public education are helping normalize insect consumption as both healthy and environmentally responsible. The edible insect industry is rapidly growing with increasing investment and consumer interest. The global market was valued at around $1 billion in 2023 and is projected to reach $9.6 billion by 2030. Insects are now used in protein powders, snack bars, and animal feed. Startups and food companies are developing innovative insect-based products, while governments and research organizations are supporting the regulation, safety studies, and economic development of this promising sector. Microalgae are microscopic photosynthetic organisms increasingly recognized as sustainable and nutrient-dense food sources. Key edible species include Spirulina, Chlorella, Dunaliella, Haematococcus, and Schizocotrium, which offer impressive protein contents up to 70% of dry weight, along with essential amino acids, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins like B12 and A precursors, antioxidants such as beta-carotene and astaxanthin, minerals including iron, magnesium and zinc, and dietary fiber. Spirulina is highly digestible at 97%, while Chlorella improves in digestibility after processing. These algae grow rapidly, require minimal land and fresh water, and can be cultivated on non-arable land using saline or even wastewater while capturing CO2 and helping mitigate climate impacts. They're used in supplements, snacks, oils, and even dairy alternatives, with global market demand growing rapidly due to interest in health and sustainability. Regulatory agencies in the EU, US, and Asia are establishing standards to ensure safety, particularly regarding contaminants. As functional foods and alternative proteins gain popularity, microalgae are emerging as a future-forward solution for both nutrition and environmental resilience. Cultured meat begins with a small biopsy of stem cells from a living animal that are nurtured in a sterile bioreactor filled with a nutrient-rich growth medium, where they multiply and mature into real muscle fibers on edible scaffolds that replicate the texture of traditional meat. Once the fibers have formed, they are harvested and fashioned into familiar products like burgers, nuggets, or steaks that mirror the protein, fat, vitamin, and mineral profile of conventional meat, and can even be tweaked to boost healthy omega-3 fats. Producing meat this way can cut greenhouse gas emissions by up to 96%, reduce land use by nearly 99%, and slash water consumption by over 80% when powered by renewable energy. Since Singapore's first approval in 2020 and subsequent regulatory green lights in the United States and the European Union, companies such as Upside Foods, Mission Barnes and Eat Just have attracted major investment to build pilot and commercial facilities. Although current costs remain high and challenges like creating thicker, steak-like cuts and overcoming consumer skepticism persist, advances in plant-based growth media, three-dimensional bioprinting and AI-driven process optimization promise to drive prices down and scale up production, making guilt-free, that environmentally friendly meat a likely reality.
To put it all into perspective, we realize that while our bodies crave proteins, carbs, fats, vitamins and minerals to keep us alive and kicking, our planet is gasping under the weight of conventional farming. It is time to swap guilt for hope and grab the protein reins. Picture juicy burgers grown in gleaming bioreactors, green vibrant spirulina smoothies that whipped up from sun-drinking algae farm, and crunchy cockroach snacks that turn kitchen scraps into muscle fuels. Imagine holding that insect in your hand and taking a bold bite to remind yourself how far we have come. The clock is ticking on water shortages and climate chaos. But by embracing these clever, eco-friendly foods today, we can sprint, laugh, and thrive tomorrow. No apocalypse required.